Sit back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device.
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, July the 10th, 2024. Jersey Johnny coming at you with me, as always, is none other than Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. Say hello, gentlemen.
Stop telling me what to do.
All right, don't say hello, gentlemen.
Howdy. How's everybody doing?
Yo. I did not call you
yo. Guys catch the NHL All-Star festivities the other day?
NHL All-Star Festival?
NHL All-Star Facility. No, I didn't.
No. I watched 3 hockey games this year. That's it.
It was like 2 days ago.
Yeah, no.
Maybe a couple more days. I thought, what a great idea. A couple weeks after the season end. Everybody's there. Nobody's chumping out. Nobody's saving themselves for their, playoff run or whatever.
So where was that?
I think it works. Like, unlike the NFL, I think it works for them.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I know another the sport that does that and nobody watches.
Yeah, well, that's because the NFL, I mean,
because the NFL,
because the NHL game is like the NBA game used to be. We're going to see if we get over 350 points on the board between the two teams, and it's going to be fun, and guys are going to shoot from the half court, and we're going to have a great time.
Right.
And the NFL game is like, half the guys didn't go there. That's why they changed when it was, and
that's why you get to watch Kirk Cousins throw passes to people in their pajamas.
Yeah, it's just.
All right, NHL hockey game. Yeah, excellent.
There you go.
Who won? The Russians?
I don't know. I didn't watch the game.
No, I didn't watch it either. Yeah, that's why you were asking us, because you were curious.
I didn't watch it. I'm just saying it was on.
No.
And I thought it was a good idea to put it on a couple weeks after the season ends.
That's not a bad idea.
I watched a good 45 seconds of some skills competition.
There you go.
Unless Oilers girl was there, not watching it.
I don't know.
What about Luka Doncic's mom?
She probably wouldn't be at an NHL All-Star game.
What if she was, though?
Yeah.
You'd watch it then, wouldn't you?
She asked me to go with her, maybe.
Well, there you go. Well, I would hope you would.
Of course.
All right. We got some memes. Let's get to the memes. What do you think?
Okay.
You guys always sound thrilled when I say
we have no choice. I call memes? This is called the Asian misspellings.
No. That was last week.
I don't think I've ever seen a meme. I'm not even sure what it is. I'm excited.
I'm excited for this.
I'm excited.
Let's kick it off.
Meme John Green.
Meme John Green. Here we go. All right, let's kick it off with this one. This one is there you go, Asian, right? It's a roll of something. It's made in China. It's comportable life things.
I mean, probably not wrong.
Well, it's garbage bags, right? If you look underneath it, it's actually a roll of garbage bags. But it says comportable life things.
Well,
so garbage bags, I guess, are life things, right?
I don't know what comportable means, but yeah, is that like comfortable and portable?
You would think comfortable.
Comfortable, portable life.
Garbage? Are we? Oh,
well, it says it right there. If you look underneath, it says it looks
it's made in China. That's the only thing.
Well, look above it. Look above it in the blue section in the middle. You can
okay. There we go.
Garbage bags.
Comportable life things.
Comportable life things.
So I guess they look at this as a way to lug your stuff around.
I'm guessing. Yes, I am.
Yeah,
it's possible. So, all right. Moving on to the next one, we have a big hoe.
This looks like it's behind a shower door from 1973.
Yeah. Well, but the shower door the picture was taken now. That's how old the shower door is. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Of course.
Exactly. So big hoe, whatever that is. I'll move on to the next one. I don't know what they were going for here. You can't read the rest of it.
It's Don's son.
Big Don Ho's son. Big hoe. Well, then wouldn't that be little hoe?
Yeah, you've never seen him.
That's true. That's true. All right, fair enough. All right, moving on to the next one. We have notice the pool is currently not open because it is closed.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for understanding.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays you have to be very, very, very
Specific.
Yeah.
The pool is currently not open. Why? Because it's closed. Oh, okay.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a little bit more upset that they're assuming that I am understanding.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I think that's kind of ballsy on their part.
I don't understand. I don't know what you're talking about. Why? Why are you doing this? There you go. All right, moving on. We have a food item here. It's not an Asian food item, but it's a food item. I've never had it before. They're jalapeno poopers.
Yeah.
I have had those.
Gives you a good case of the hot ass.
There you go.
Let that be a lesson to you, hot ass.
Exactly. I love that movie.
Call that hot hole.
Hot hole. There you go. And it's on sale too for $6.
If it's really bad, it's called lumpuckaroo of the blowhole.
But here's the real takeaway from this is that jalapeno or jalapeno?
Jalapeno.
Jalapeno.
J-A-L-E or J-A-L-A?
Jalapeno.
It's J-A-L-A. It should be J-L-A. So this is jalapeno poopers.
Yeah.
J-Lip Eno.
From Harris.
J-Lip Eno. Yeah, it's Brian's son. J-Lip Eno.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
Another reference that
if anybody's still watching, I apologize.
There you go. All right. Let's move on to the next one. We have this right here. Please stay away from kids.
Yeah.
It's a 6-inch black sofa legs TV cabinet with 16 screws, 4-pack, 15 centimeters at 6 inches. They're made in China, but please stay away from kids.
Yeah. It's for a playpen. It's not a toy.
Right, exactly. All right, moving on to the next one. This is an ad for a car. One ad, somebody selling their car. I've never heard of this brand before. Maybe you have. Let me know. It is the Chevy and Paula.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a
60s hit.
Wasn't that a show with Chevy Chase and Paula Poundstone?
Didn't make it
very far.
Chevy and Paula.
That was a song by
I think it was called Impossible Lovers or something like
Hey,
that.
Chevy and Paula. Driving you.
Who wore the best? I think that's what it was called. Who wore the vest best?
Who wore the vest best? There you go. Here's a question for you, Pete. Hey, Paula, that song you're talking about. What was the name of the group that sang it?
I can't remember. I want to say the
Dokken.
It was Dokken, yeah.
Hey, Paula.
George Lynch was the
George Lynch, yeah. I'll say the Marionettes.
It was not. It was actually because remember, it's hey Paula, I want to marry you, and then hey Paul, and she goes back to him. It was Paul and Paula.
Oh, that was Paul and Paula. Yeah.
It was Paul and Paula. Yes. Okay.
Writing a song about themselves, huh?
1957 gold. There you go.
There we go.
We haven't seen that since Hey Hey We're the Monkeys.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. This is true. There you go. All right, moving on to the next one. We got please the horses. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is this a direction? I mean, I don't want to. I'm sure there are some people that want to do that. I do not want to do that.
Mostly women.
This is true.
Here, the people who bought this, obviously, who knew there was a market for a generic fill in what you actually want?
Right. Please don't fuck the horses. Please don't
feed the horses. Please don't kick the horses.
Yeah.
Who knew there was a market for making those?
Right.
Yeah.
But my question is, if you're ordering these, assumingly you have a ranch or a racetrack or something that you're going to put these up, how many different things might you need to say to people that you go, do they make a blank? Because I want to tell people not to look at the horses.
Let's do top 10. Okay. At number 10, please don't touch the horses. At number 9, please don't feed the horses.
Right.
At number 8, please don't ride the horses. At number 7, please don't blow the horses.
Yeah. All right.
Please don't inseminate the horses.
Please don't kick the horses.
Please don't. Did you say eat?
No.
Please don't eat the horses.
Please don't eat the horses.
Please don't taunt the horses. Yeah, you know what? I can see this.
Mm-hmm.
This
please.
was like the brother of a ranch family, like the redheaded stepchild, the ne'er-do-well brother.
Please don't mount the horses.
Please don't
He
mount the
hated
horses.
the horse business, and he went off and said, "I'm going to create a
That's
generic
right.
sign company." Yeah,
Please don't sell the horses.
Please don't steal the horses.
Please don't steal the horses. Please don't.
Please hold the horses.
Please don't have dinner with the horses.
Well, that's it, right. We keep thinking about what all these are negatives. What would some of the top 10 positives be?
Please
kiss the horses.
Please date the horses.
Please love the horses.
Please love
Please
the
rub
horses.
the horses. Please brush the horses.
Mm-hmm.
Please take the horses.
Please take the horses. There you go.
They're fucking expensive. Thank you.
We don't need them anymore. They're yours. Enjoy.
This is literally on a lawn on a small suburban lot.
It is.
There's 18 horses behind.
And no, and there's little horse figurines like sitting under it. You know.
Yeah, it could be at a carousel.
It could
be.
Please don't ride the horse.
Please don't startle the horses.
Please don't startle the horses.
All right.
It could be anything. All right, moving on.
All right. On to baseball.
There's two others really quick. This one is now you know the 7 deadly sins, right?
I don't know if I can I know of them, yes.
Right, you know of the 7
Sleepy,
deadly
sins,
right?
snoozy, droopy.
That's the 7 dwarfs. That's 7 deadly.
Sal.
Yeah.
Probably between the three of us, I'm pretty sure we've committed all of them.
I'm probably sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Anyway,
Okay.
however, here's a list of 5. I think the picture's cut off. Obviously, the other 2 are listed, but I never knew the third one down was one of the 7 deadly sins. So here we go.
Okay, let's see.
All right. Greed, lust, shrimp, envy, and sloth.
Well, again, it's all perspective.
This is true.
Is that just because you're not supposed to eat seafood?
I don't. Maybe. Greed, lust, shrimp, envy, and sloth. Yeah, I don't.
Or maybe they're just. Maybe you're not supposed to eat sloth either.
Or maybe it's one of these don't belong.
Or maybe it's saying.
Oh yeah.
One.
This
Yeah.
could
One.
be like from a Bible school.
Yeah.
Which one of these is not a deadly sin?
That's right. Which one of these is a sea insect?
Right. Exactly. That tastes good with cocktail sauce.
Well, sloth is also an animal. So
This is true. There you go.
Yeah.
all right. I mean, I've never had sloth.
Unless they're saying that shrimp envy sloth, because it's not shrimps or sloth. Those are actually the plural of the words too.
What's a bigger deadly sin, greed or creed?
Probably.
I would say creed.
I would say probably.
Yeah. All right.
Creed, maybe. Yeah, exactly. It was an interesting movie. Let's leave it at that.
No, I wasn't talking about that.
I know you weren't. All right. So last one is right here. Earplugs. Now 10% less likely to cause anal leakage.
Well, they're not that big, so they're not going to stop anal leakage. That's for sure.
Maybe these ones are a little bigger because they're 10% less likely to cause
They don't cause it. That's for sure. They're not big enough to cause it.
They're not causing it. They're preventing it, right? So,
they're not claiming that either.
Would it be anal leakage?
Only 10% less likely, though.
Maybe
if it was 12%, I'd probably get a pair.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
So.
Like, what are we starting with, though? Like, what was the likeliness of anal leakage before?
Yeah, was it 100% before, and now it's down to 90?
Who knows?
Yeah, where are we at?
You have to think it's a high number. If it was,
I need reference.
If it was 20 and now it's down to 10, they might say only 10% likely to cause.
Right.
But they're not going to go only 90% likely to cause.
Were these earplugs made out of Olean, the same?
Olean, right? Exactly. They put a little less of the Olean in them, so they're 10% less likely to cause anal leakage. There. Yeah. Fair enough. All right. And that
we should really call them rear plugs, not earplugs.
They're rear plugs. There you go. All right.
I think it's supposed to be canal leakage, like your ear canal.
Maybe it's canal leakage. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe they were canal leakage.
It's never canal.
Or
it's always anal.
Or maybe they're rear plugs. Yeah.
Maybe they are rear plugs. Yeah.
Maybe they're multi-purpose. I mean,
multi-purpose plugs.
Yeah.
For your ear or your ass. Either or. You're good to go.
Not really sure there's much that works for your ear and your ass, but Okay.
You never know.
Yeah, I guess if you try hard enough.
True. Very true.
All right.
Well, that
See you next week, folks.
that concludes our memes for the week. There we go. All right, let's we get the baseball diamond up. Let's talk some baseball. How we're Harry? I'm going to start with you.
All right, I'm going to be back in an hour. Go, Harry. Yankees. They're
Yankees.
not so good lately.
Where do you
Harry,
stand?
go.
Where do you stand with your team right now?
Boy, this is do or die for Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone. This is
it really though?
I think it's a result of the Yankees spending a lot of money on Aaron Judge, who's been fantastic, arguably, competing for the MVP of the league. But everybody else that was a giant question mark, even after a hot start, has either been hurt or just underperforming woefully. Here's a stat. I'm going to leave it at this. Okay. In the last 21 games, the ERA of the Yankees starting rotation has been 7.01. That tells you everything.
Yeah,
They've lost games by 12, 15, 14, 9 runs. It's just ridiculous. Now, the offense has many holes, but it's the pitching that's just not where it needs to be. And Cole looked okay in his last start, but it just seems like they're digging themselves a hole. And when the team scores 4 runs, they score 3. And then they have one outburst where they score 14 runs, and then they average 2 a game for the next 3 games.
Right.
So when you're getting a start from Carlos Rodon, where he gives up 3 runs over 6 or so innings, and you can't win, you're not going to win any more games.
You're not. No, you're not.
So, look, I've said this all along. They need a new first baseman. They need a new second baseman. They need a closer. They need another starter. And they probably need another outfielder and a third baseman. And, oh, by the way, their catchers, who have historically always been good defensively, are horrific.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Juan Soto and Aaron Judge are a great 1-2 combo. And I think Anthony Volpe has fallen back to earth. He's serviceable. He's a good defensive shortstop, but he's not the second coming of Derek Jeter. He's not ever going to be a 300 hitter in this league. There's one bright spot that came up from their farm system, and that's Ben Rice, who it's early, but he's hitting in clutch situations. And, oh, by the way, he could play first base. So go out and get a Cody Bellinger. Go out and get the reliever from the Marlins, whose name is escaping me right now. Go out and get Matt Chapman. Go do it. Because if not, you're not going to have Juan Soto next year, and you're going to be left with an even worse team and Aaron Judge.
There's been some talk. There's been some chatter with the New York sports pundits about Jazz Chisholm.
Yeah,
it's
all great. Look,
although a lot of people are mis saying it. It's not.
I know.
Yeah,
we've already had Jazz Chisholm jokes. The reality of it is that Soto's great, but it's a bad move if you lose him, which you might. His agent's an asshole, and he's not going to stay anywhere for less money, and he's not going to stay if he can't win.
Right. So,
you got 3 all-stars, one who's coming off of an injury. The Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, Anthony Verdugo, Alex Verdugo. I'm sorry. Just nibbling around the edges. Horrible moves that are not panning out. And I'm just sad to say that Gleyber Torres has fallen off a cliff again. And I think DJ LeMahieu's injury history is just, although he's had the only clutch hits over the last couple of days, I just think he's not the player that he once was, a 2-time batting champion.
Yeah.
Time wears on. And all I heard about for years and years and years is how great the Yankees farm system was. Well, it wasn't. It isn't. And you're going to be left with fighting for a wild card spot and potentially losing Juan Soto and being left with Aaron Judge and Anthony Volpe. That's your Yankees. The Yankees. So if you can't go out and win, Steinbrenner, if you don't, this is the worst use of money of any organization in sports. It's the worst. They have the highest or second highest payroll in baseball, and they have the way in which they've distributed it is horrible.
Yeah.
So, do I think they could turn it around? Yeah, but they need some changes. And you know what, Marcus Stroman, thank you. All right, we don't do things that way. Everything's okay. No, somebody needs to light a fucking fire under this team, and he was ballsy enough to do it. So step up and do something.
There you go. You heard it.
Here's my 2 cents.
Go for it.
You've got Aaron Judge.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Soto. You've got Rodon. And you've got Garrett Cole. Now, Cole obviously is coming back. His ERA is not good.
Yeah,
and you're right.
Rodon and Cole have a combined 6 point something and 7 point something ERA over the last 2 months.
Right. Yeah, they've been lousy of late.
A little bit.
But I think what you said right towards the end there about lighting a fire is as big an issue for this team as what we're seeing with the offense falling off a cliff, because Aaron Judge is in his last 20 to 30 at bats.
Yeah, he's in a slump too.
Has in a slump.
So is Soto. Soto went from 308 to 290.
Right. Yeah, and we saw this when Judge was hurt, and then he was the offensive blah blah blah. But what you said, Stroman, I agree with you. God bless him for speaking up and saying something. But the heart of a big part of this problem is that, someone ought to be kicking these guys' asses.
It's not Aaron Boone.
Aaron Boone is never, ever going to be the guy who does that.
No.
And that, to me, is as much an issue with this team. There is no one to grab these guys by the scruff of the neck, throw some baseball bats in the shower, right? Like in Bull Durham, you lollygag the ball to second. There's nobody to kick these guys in the ass and say, we're the fucking Yankees, and their mental mistakes, base running errors, not hustling on plays, not turning double plays that ought to be turned because the first half of it is not executed with an urgency, just a lack of urgency on this team, because I think they feel like, well, we've got Soto and we've got Judge, and our pitching is going to be okay. It always comes around. No urgency, nobody getting in these guys' faces, and they're responding. They're responding like a team that doesn't have anyone kicking them in the ass.
Well, let me ask you a question. Which team does have a manager or leadership that does that?
I don't know.
Is that look? 15 years ago, I would say
not modern day baseball.
That's really important. Yeah. How did Buck Showalter work out on the Mets?
Not so well.
And I'm not blaming him. It's not a criticism of him. I'm just saying I don't know what the right answer is. I don't think Aaron Boone is. I think he's way worse than Girardi, and I like Girardi.
But he's not a yeller and screamer.
If Aaron Boone got replaced, Yankee fans would be happy. If Brian Cashman was fired and replaced, Yankee fans would be ecstatic. Mm-hmm. And you know what? You might have to do that in order to keep Juan Soto, which I'll be honest with you, that's priority number one. Because the reason why Aaron Judge is having such a great year is because Soto's right next to him in the lineup.
Right.
He's never had anybody like that next to him in the lineup.
Right.
And then the next thing you need to do is you need to find a way of getting out of contracts with Anthony Rizzo and Giancarlo Stanton. Now, great. Stanton was having a mediocre year, and we were all clapping for that. And then he got fucking hurt, and he's just useless. He's just fucking useless. It's been a horrible, horrible decision to sign him. And Rizzo, as much as I like the guy, was also just his defense has declined more than Joe Biden's fucking memory. It's just bad.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't hit. So you got Ben Rice. Stick with them. Now go fill at least one of the two infield with somebody who could hit over 260. Okay? Matt Chapman.
Mm-hmm.
Or outfield, or whatever the case might be. And go get Cody Bellinger. Look, these are not superstars right now. They're having down years, so maybe you can get them without having to give up the farm. But the biggest thing is, let me tell you something. You need a middle reliever and you need a closer. Clay Holmes is not a closer on a championship team. He's not. He's not even close.
He's an all-star. Come on.
He's not a fucking closer on a championship team. There you go.
All right.
Well, he is an all-star. So,
having said that, there's a lot of teams that are just. We've seen a big dip from the beginning of the year. The Dodgers are going through an incredible amount of injuries. Their starting pitching is decimated. Meanwhile, Shohei Ohtani continues to just be spectacular.
mm-hmm.
I think the Phillies are the best team in baseball. Don't forget about Cleveland. Boston, by the way, is on a heater. The Braves are going to be there at the end. This year's a toss-up. I'm telling you, it's a toss-up. And I think look, the Astros are getting hot again. The Orioles are a really good team. I don't know. I think that the so-called colossal, predictions of the Dodgers being there no matter what, I don't see it right now.
Yeah, I don't either. And I'm just looking at every last 10 games for every National League team, the highest record of any team is 6-4.
A lot of parity, a lot of
when
middle of the season
there,
slump.
When you say being there, you mean in the World Series?
Huh.
Like it's going to be Dodgers and then whoever from the American League. I think it's fair to question that.
I mean, the standings. The standings change slowly.
Well, but I mean, honestly, other than the Phillies or maybe the Braves, who else is going to challenge the Dodgers? It's not going to be the Brewers.
Well, yeah.
I know they have a really good record, but they're the Minnesota Twins of the National League.
No, I get you, but I'm saying the Phillies and the Braves are good teams.
I agree.
I still think the Dodgers, if they're healthy, I still think that they're right there. But look, the season changes really quickly. Dodgers are 4-6 in their last 10. It's just the American League has much more.
But the Dodgers can get healthy.
The Dodgers can get healthy. The Dodgers on paper,
that's what they have going in their favor.
That's the difference between the Dodgers and the Yankees. The Dodgers have proven depth, at almost every position, and a much better starting rotation and an actual closer. So yeah, it's not even close. But right now, I can't envision the Yankees beating. The only team in the American League East that I could see the Yankees beating in a 5 or 7 game series is Toronto, and that'd be tough. I don't see them beating Cleveland. The rest of the Central is, although look, the Royals are looking okay and closing in on a wild card. So I think the Astros.
Twins aren't bad.
Everybody laughed at me. I still think the Astros are going to win the West. And don't look now. The Texas Rangers are 7-3 in their last 10, and only 5.5 games behind Seattle. So I think you're going to see Houston win that division, and Seattle and Texas fight for a wild card. I think Cleveland's tough. I think Baltimore's tough, and I think right now the Red Sox are a better team than the Yankees. So that's a lot.
Yeah,
if the Yankees continue like this, they're going to be fighting for a wild card.
Fair enough.
But if they make a couple choice decisions, they could still win the American League East. That's the difference.
Listen, Garrett Cole seems to be poisoned. He came back and they fell down a hole.
Well,
that Juju, man, he needs to get hurt again.
Well, he's working. Anytime you come back from an injury in the middle of the season, it's tough on pitchers. It just is.
No, I know. I'm just saying the whole team. He came back.
Yeah, but he had a good start the other day, and they blew it because they blew a big lead.
Yeah,
so
he'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
I think he'll be fine.
I
think the Yankees will be okay.
Take Garrett Cole with a broken arm over fucking,
Fair enough.
Luis Gil.
We got
I think they'll be right in it, in part because of where they are. They do have 55 wins.
There's
some padding there.
The thing is that if you fire Aaron Boone, who do you bring in?
Buck Showalter.
A stick.
Bring Buck back.
Reggie Jackson.
If it's all analytics, then what?
It isn't.
You don't.
It's all analytics. It doesn't matter who you bring in.
You don't need a tactician. You need somebody who's emotional and who motivates the team.
Yeah.
Not a guy who goes.
Hire me. I'll do it for.
Same
I would say I'll put this together right now.
Fills out the lineup and goes. Well, we'll get him again. We'll go get him again today.
For $200,000. I'll fucking coach the rest of the season. You will see me with a bat in my hand the entire fucking game.
I can.
Yeah, some of the players won't respond to that though, Harry.
Oh, they will. I don't care. There's tons of players we can bring up. I'll bring up a fucking prospect from Hocus. I don't give a shit.
Oh, I want to see that too. We have a couple comments here. Beer Samurai, Dave Sean says, John's baseball team sucks. And then he says, that's why he's wearing a football jersey tonight. There you go. It's actually a baseball jersey though, Dave. But
they don't suck. The problem is that they're
he's also a Mets fan. So.
I know. And that's the thing with the Mets. It's frustrating is that they don't really suck. You know, I sit out here watching the Rockies. That's suck. Mm-hmm. The Mets are underperforming, but they're a 500 baseball team.
The Mets couldn't be any more 500 right now. They're 45-45, 500. Okay, they're 5-5 in their last 10. Yeah. And they've scored 433 runs and given up 433 runs.
And they're a solid 5 on the man.
They are right in the middle.
Yeah, they get a 5 on that. Nah.
There you go. And but to make you feel better, though, Harry, the team that has scored the most runs in the entire MLB is the Yankees.
Yeah, but they scored all of.
I mean, they've only scored one more than the Orioles at this point.
Well, they've only scored one run in the last month, but yeah.
But yeah, yeah, the Yankees. They got a lot of work to do. You're right, though. Not saying anything, crosstown rivals, whatever. I don't hate the Yankees. You guys know that. Pete does. I don't. But in any event, yeah, they got to make a couple moves. They got to make a couple moves. And on that note, the Mets need to make a couple moves too. They have.
I have a question for you guys.
They have zero bullpen. The three of us could pitch as well as the bullpen's pitching.
Well, yeah.
Maybe it's a stretch.
Well, here I hear rumors that Pete Alonso might be trade bait.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Stearns is doing. I really don't. I don't know what his plan is. He just he gives me signs that he just wants his own team, and Pete Alonso is not part of it. I don't know if that's just talk. I don't know what it is. If he leaves, if they trade him, even if they want to do like that, Aroldis Chapman thing that the Yankees did back in the day, get him back after next year, get something at the deadline for him or whatever. If you trade him, he's gone. He's not coming back.
Let me explain for those of you who don't understand what the Aroldis Chapman is. What the Aroldis Chapman thing is when the Yankees trade their underperforming closer, who's a nut job, to the Chicago Cubs. He then goes and, despite his best efforts, wins a World Series. And then the Yankees bring him back and overpay him, where he continues to suck and blow games for the Yankees for the next couple of years.
Right. And he blew a game for the Pirates against the Mets the other day, too. So there you go. We have here you go. Dave just said the Pirates ran out of fireworks on July 5th because the Mets pitchers gave up more than 5 home runs.
I heard that.
Yeah, 7. They gave up 7 home runs in that day.
Yeah,
on that day. And Dave, let us know. How do you know that so well? How do you know that so well?
Because he was there.
I'll tell you that. It's because he was there. Yeah, he was actually at the game.
He was the fireworks guy.
He was the fireworks guy.
He was called the Bottle Rocket Samurai.
The Mets lost that game 74-2, I think. Oh yeah, he said I was fucking there. He said. Yes.
But here's the thing with the Mets is that I feel like they're just a couple pieces away from being a playoff team.
They are. They really are. Because you can make the playoffs. We've seen it, right? You can make the playoffs with at 84 and 78.
Well, yeah. If the Mets were in the AL Central, they could be a 500 team and win the division.
Right. So they need serious bullpen help. They just have nobody. Unless if the Mets when the starting pitcher is being pulled out of the game and you're getting into the bullpen, unless the Mets have a 10-run lead, they're probably going to lose the game.
I know.
He said, "Good. Thank God for fatheads, headhunter, IPA to kill the pain." That's what he was drinking. So,
Well, listen, it's an
big head
question
strikes again.
Is Alonso a guy that you're going to want to shell out all that money for? Is he really a good player, or is a lot of it's a sentiment?
Yeah, and what is he going to get? I mean, somebody's going to pay him, but I think I could see him going to become a star on a team where I don't see I don't see somebody
Chicago.
I don't see like the Dodgers shelling. Well, of course they got Freddie Freeman, but I don't see a contender fighting for Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso is a really good player, but I don't think he's
a pretty good player.
I don't think he's a game changer.
I don't know. I honestly think Pete Alonso will stay, and this is my reasoning. Now, if the Mets just to fall out of everything, and because they're a game and a half out of the wild card right now. So if the Mets are out of it, like just completely out of it, I can see them making some moves, trading JD Martinez, trading Pete Alonso, getting more prospects, righting the ship, so to speak. If they're anywhere near still competing, they can't, because that's just throwing the white flag when they could actually make some noise, right? Yeah. They're not going to do that, and they're not going to trade Pete. They're not going to trade JD.
How are they going to be close to anything this season, John?
Well, they're like
Atlanta and Philly ahead of them.
Right. No, I'm not talking about getting there. They're a game right now. They're a game and a half out of the wild card. There's 3 wild cards. Atlanta can be ahead of them, and Philly can be ahead of them. Doesn't mean they're not in the wild card mix, right? You're talking about they're third in the National League East. The other 2 teams competing right now for the wild card are the Padres and the Cardinals. So right now they are a game and a half behind the Padres. And right. the Cardinals are 1 game up from that, and the Braves are 3.5 games up from the Cardinals. So
right, but they don't just have to compete with the Braves and the Phillies like they do for the division title. They have to compete with all of those other wild card teams. It's not like you only got to take care of those 2 guys.
Right?
So yeah, they're a game and a half out of it, but there's a lot of other teams in it that they're going to end up having to be.
Of course. Well, and again, if it's not, honestly, you can draw a direct line for even just take the last 8 losses. The last 8 losses they had, 6 of them are directly because of the bullpen. If the bullpen just did its job, it didn't even have to strike the side out, hold some runs. And I'm not talking that they blew a save and they gave up a 1-run lead. I'm talking they gave up like a 4 or 5 or a 6-run lead. Yeah. The 6 of the last 8 losses are specifically 100% because of the bullpen, meaning they would have won those 6 games even if they had an average bullpen. Yeah. So they instead of those 8 losses, they would have 2. So
they need a bullpen. They need a little pop in the lineup too. There's a couple, they could use a bat. They could use somebody who can hit for higher than 274. Mm-hmm. Which is hard these days.
Yeah, to be honest, some teams would pay good money for somebody to hit 274.
Well, I know, and that's what I'm saying. They're smart with Marte and Harrison Bader, and so the Mets filled out their roster pretty well. Mm-hmm. It's just their stars that they spent big money on are good, but not great.
Right.
Nobody thought Lindor would be hitting 250.
Right, but he's bringing that up. I mean, he was way down. Last month and a half, he's been on a tear,
and his WAR is the highest on the team. I mean, he's a good player. Mm-hmm. It's just he was brought in to be great.
Right.
He hasn't done what they brought him here for.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right, let's go around. I mean, right now, Baltimore's in the league. He's got in the lead in the AL East. Got a 3-game lead on the Yankees. Cleveland. Who do you think is? I'm gonna play. I don't know if this is stealing thunder from Pete, but I'm gonna play this right now. Who's more real out of the divisional leaders right now in the AL and the NL? So, Orioles 3-game lead over the Yankees at 57-34. Cleveland a 5.5-game lead over the Twins at 57-33. Or Seattle a 2-game lead over the Astros at 50-43.
Who's a better team? Is that what you're saying, or who has a better chance of
staying there?
Well, the Baltimore is the lowest, even though they're the best team because they're in a tougher division.
Right.
Cleveland's probably got the best chance of staying there because they are the best team in that division, and the rest of the division is,
Right.
man. Yeah, Seattle. I don't think they're winning that division. I think Seattle. I think the Astros win that, and I think the Rangers are going to battle Seattle for a wild card.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's go to the National League. Who fits the bill in the National League? Phillies 7.5 games above the Braves at 59-32. Brewers 4.5 games above the Cardinals at 53-39. Or the Dodgers 7.5 games above the Padres, 55-37.
Right now, the Phillies are the best team in baseball.
All right. Pete, you agree?
I think they're the best team in baseball. I think the Brewers may have a better chance of hanging on to the lead.
Right. Although the Phillies have a 7.5 game lead on a very good Atlanta Braves team. It's crazy.
Yeah. But the Phillies,
they could go into a little bit of a dip.
and listen,
And they got to play the Braves a bunch. But they also
they've got to that's it.
They also get to play the Nationals and the Marlins.
Yeah. So, and I don't know what injuries the Phillies have sustained, if any, major ones.
Not a lot.
So,
Harper was out for a while, wasn't he? Now he's back.
So
Harper
the injury
was out for a while,
could,
now he's back.
could bite, but I think the Phillies are the best team.
Yeah.
I don't think Milwaukee has the competition within the division.
No, Milwaukee's always going to win that division. It just seems like.
Yeah. And as far as the AL goes, I hear what you're saying about Cleveland, and same thing. They don't have the same competition. They're so much better than everyone thought they would be. I believe they're going to sustain that throughout the whole season.
Fair enough.
I thought they'd be good. Didn't I pick them to win that division? I think
you did.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying they're even better. There were a lot of people who said, I think Cleveland's going to be.
They're kind of like the Brewers. They've been good for a while now. Of course, they have a little bit more competitions with the Twins, but everybody thought, the Tigers were going to bounce back. But it's
good in the division, but not so good against the rest of the AL.
Right.
But you had better Tampa teams, you had better Blue Jay teams in the past couple of years.
Right. And they're pitching.
I still think Baltimore is they're a better team. Cleveland is a little bit of a hotter team. I don't
Baltimore is a better team.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
And I think Seattle, I think they'll hold off the Astros.
Well, that's the rumored landing spot for Alonso, for Pete Alonso.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Well,
that'd be good.
We shall see. We shall see.
Shall.
There's the dog next door. Gotta love it. All right, let's talk All-Star game. All-Star break is next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Mm-hmm.
We have who do we have? Let's see. Starting what you call it, the starting lineup, if you will. I don't know what order they're going to be in, but for the American League standouts, let's see. I'm not going to read them all off, but you got Yordan Alvarez, obviously from Houston, as a DH. Judge and Soto are both there as two of the three outfielders. Gunnar Henderson from Baltimore, he's shortstop. Jose Ramirez from Cleveland, third base. Altuve, second base. No,
Altuve is amazing.
Yeah.
I hate that little fucker, but man, he's good.
Vladdy Jr., first base. Adley.
Altuve might go down as the best second baseman of all time. I'll leave it there.
It's possible. It's possible.
Better than Dustin Pedroia?
About the same size, right?
Yeah. Look, you got two guys from Baltimore. You got two guys from Houston.
Yeah.
You got two guys from the Yankees. You got two guys from Cleveland and Vladdy.
Yeah, exactly.
So we know who the good teams are here.
Exactly. Then you got, you got a couple other Boston, you got a couple Boston players or reserves.
Devers, who's not going to play.
Jason Tatum.
Devers, who's not playing, and Jason Tatum. Yeah, he's going to fill in for him. Now,
Derek White's going to fill in for him.
Right. Duran.
Duran. How many names on the reserves do we really? I mean, I recognize them, but
Yeah, I mean, there's not Bobby Witt Jr.
Marcus
from Kansas
Seaman,
City.
Correa,
Yeah.
Josh Naylor from Cleveland.
Yeah, exactly. Carlos Correa. Good thing that the Mets didn't sign him. He was going to fall apart last year. Remember?
I'm glad to see a couple of Baltimore guys get there. Reichman's, I think, a great catcher. I like Salvador Perez too. I think they got the catchers right. Carlos Correa is great. Naylor's great. Marcus Simeon. Jordan Westberg. I think this is his first All-Star game. Right?
This is his first All-Star game. Yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of nice. Duran. He's kind of come out of nowhere. Although I think he's been to an All-Star game before. I could be wrong on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. Riley Green. All right. There you go.
And there you have it.
Kyle
and then some starting pitcher. Highlights. You got Corbin Burns, Tyler Anderson,
Lugo,
Seth Lugo, starting pitcher.
Look at Kansas City. Look at Kansas City's pitcher.
Yeah. There you go.
Royals got what, 3 or 4? They got 4 All-Stars.
Yeah, they do. And of course relief pitchers. You got Clay Holmes is right in the mix of all of that.
Useless piece of shit.
Kirby Yates, Manuel Clace. A bunch of them. So look at the National League starters. Name starters. You got William Contreras behind the plate, Bryce Harper at first, Ketel Marte at second, Alec Boehm at third.
Ketel Marte sounds like a type of vodka.
Yeah, right. Trey Turner, short.
Popcorn.
So 3 of your 4 infielders are from Philly.
Yeah. Two of your infielders are from Milwaukee, and the other 2 are from San Diego. Only 1 Dodger started.
Two of the starters are from Milwaukee. 3 of the 4 infielders are from Philly. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you got the 2 and Jurickson Profar and Fernando Tatis Jr. Are the other 2 outfielders from the Padres, and of course Shohei Ohtani is the DH.
And the entire reserves are the Dodgers.
Does it seem like the National League is a little bit more popularity contesty? The starting lineup?
Yes.
100%.
Right, it does, right? Like,
I don't know weird popularity contest too.
I don't know everybody's numbers.
A lot of Midwestern.
Is Christian Yelich there because he's having a great season, or just because they needed somebody from Milwaukee?
They needed somebody from Milwaukee,
but he still got voted
but you got
in.
Contreras too.
Well, this is voting, right? This is all voted. It's not like his record spoke for where he's playing. It's voted, right?
He's hitting 336 though.
No, it's
okay. Yes, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I don't know his numbers,
but yeah, I mean, I still say Lindor got screwed. I know he didn't have a good April. And it took him a little while and made it get going, but he's been on a tear.
So who's he better than? He's not. You think he's better than Mookie Betts?
No, on this list here. Honestly, to be honest with you, I think at the moment Lindor deserved to go more than Alonso did. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with you there. But then they wouldn't have had another first baseman. So I mean, I don't know. Yeah, they had Freddie. They got Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see Ryan McMahon there. But
how does Ellie De La Cruz not get in the start?
Jim McMahon was supposed to go.
That's right.
But yeah, he was busy.
How does De La Cruz not get in the starting lineup? This is one of the most exciting players in the game.
Ellie De La Cruz should be in the starting lineup.
He's hitting 250 with 40 RBIs.
Yeah, he's got like almost 50 stolen bases.
Okay.
There's a lot. There's
exciting.
Other. They want pop. They want pop. They want. That's what this. They want. They want the home run derby to happen Monday and also on Tuesday.
Yeah, but he's not better than Marte or Turner or any of the other.
But he is a reason people go to the ballpark.
Yeah, he's half the baseball fans are just learning who he is.
The fact that he's there is okay. I mean, he's actually been named, so he's there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah,
and then he just came out. No, he didn't fall out of the sky yesterday.
That's true.
The guy's a Sports Center highlight every fucking night.
Yeah. And starting pitchers.
He almost stole. I think he got a walker single. He stole 2 bases.
Yeah, he cost him a run, and he cost him a run because he was dumb.
He got thrown out on a double steal attempt. It wasn't like he went on his
thrown
own
out. It cost him a run.
Right. Exactly. Some starting pitchers.
It wasn't his call. The play was called.
Some starting
doing what he was told.
This is true. So starting pitchers, you got Tyler Glasnow from the Dodgers, Hunter Green. Sale.
Shouldn't
Manga.
Skeens get the start for Pittsburgh?
Well, just because of his mustache, but he doesn't have as many wins or strikeouts as
he's got 10 starts. He's 5-0. His ERA is a negative number.
Okay, who's leading the league in wins?
I don't know.
Zach Wheeler's there too.
Sale's going to get the start, probably, right?
Sale's probably going to
sure, but
yeah.
I'm just saying
he's a good story. His girlfriend's got a fat ass and an OnlyFans. It's great, but
right. But that's my point. Like, how about baseball? If you're trying to bring people in,
he's there.
Then what?
He should start.
He's one of the biggest stories in baseball this year.
All right, then and then if you're basing it on 10 games, then Ben Rice should be starting at first base. You know,
nobody knows who Ben Rice is.
You can't. I mean, the first baseman for the Yankees hit 4 home runs.
Yeah, but it's different with position players.
He is not known the way Skeens is.
Yeah, Skeens is just known because of his mustache.
He's nationally known. He's on SportsCenter. He's a phenomenon. Put him in the game. Let him start. Let people see him for a couple innings.
Well, who cares? I don't care what you do because I'm not watching this shit.
I think Kenta Colby should start from Pittsburgh.
That's right. I think if they really want to make it interesting, have fucking Carlos Rodon start the game. Then you get some fucking scoring.
There you go. Maybe that's the reason he's not starting, though, Pete. Right? There you go. They don't want strikeouts. They want pop. They want home run derby to continue the next day. So
listen. If he doesn't get to face Aaron Judge at some point during the All-Star game, then baseball has failed. If part of their mission is to bring people in, that should be a matchup that should be seen. And you can do that by starting him.
Yeah, Chris Sale is 12-3. Seth Lugo is 11-3. Come on.
This guy's 5-0.
He at 5-0, he's okay. They haven't even had a chance to figure him out yet. Come on. It's crazy.
He's one of the hottest things in baseball. I'm just saying.
He may still start. You never know.
That's very true.
I think he should. I don't think he will, but I think he should.
That's very true. All right. And we get the home run derby on Monday night.
Oh, God. Does anybody watch that shit anymore?
8 players. There you go. Got 8 players going. I believe it's Jose Ramirez, Gunnar Henderson, Pete Alonso, Alec Boehm, Bobby Witt Jr., Marcelo Zuna, Teoscar Hernandez, and
Vladdy?
Adolis Garcia.
Yeah, Garcia. The playoff home run machine.
Who cares? It will be way more highly watched than the All-Star game, though.
Probably.
Yeah. Where is the All-Star game this year?
Probably.
Is that in Connecticut?
It's in probably Connecticut. Yeah.
It's in Texas.
It's in Texas.
Arlington,
Texas. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, this is going to be the big year for the Rangers, right? Coming off the series win, and they got the All-Star game. They're all excited, and now they're getting better.
They don't have one. They don't have one All-Star.
Well, everybody has to have an All-Star.
Oh no, Marcus Semien. That's right.
Yeah,
they have one.
Yeah.
Oh no, they got a relief pitcher too. Kirby Yates is on there. Okay,
there you go. Yeah. Fair enough.
He's 3-1 with a .84 ERA and 14 saves. He's a phenomenon. Kirby Yates.
He's a phenom.
Phenomenon.
I'm just saying, if baseball wants to build itself up, then put in the guys that the country wants to see. Everybody knows who these players are. They get to see them on the highlights. You can watch any game anytime. So bring in that, because look, some people are the opposite of us. They don't watch a lot of games, but they watch the All-Star game. So throw them a bone and throw in the names they know.
MLB wanted people to watch the All-Star game, then they'd have Caitlin Clark pitching to Angel Reese.
Well,
I would like to see that. I would like to see that.
They're just bad at stuff.
Think there'll be
MLB is just bad.
Think there'll be some chin music if that happened?
I don't know.
At least
probably pitch from the outfield.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a beanball.
You know, her short game's no good.
Wow.
All right, we got just a quickie.
All right,
MLB All-Star Game, just a quickie. MLB All-Star Game, just a quickie. All right. Need you to tell me. Need you to take your guesses, and I'll announce it afterwards. Which league is in the lead as far as All-Star Game wins go? Is it the American League, or is it the National League,
Or are they tied?
or are they tied? Whatever you want to say, either or. So, Pete, you go first.
I think it's still the National League.
Still the National League. Pete goes with National League. You want to take a venture at the record?
Yeah, tell me the record.
How many?
Well, I'll tell you how many games. I'll tell you how many games. Then you can guess and tell me the guess at the record.
Yeah, when did it start?
There's been 93 games. This is the 94th All-Star Game.
So
Don't look it up. Don't be looking anything up.
half of 94. 45.
47. Half of 94 is 47.
So what did Pete
Right.
say? He said the National League.
He
So
said
the National League.
I'll go American League just to make it interesting. But I'm going to guess it's within 4 games.
I think it's like one game,
one game separated,
or maybe 2.
So National League, which is it? 1 or 2?
I'm going to say 3 or 4, and I'm going to go American League.
Well, it would have
pick
to
a number. Pete, 1 or 2. Harry, 1 or 3 or 4.
I'll say it's 1. Just 1.
1. Harry,
3.
3. Okay.
No, the American League leads by 17.
All right. 93 total games. The American League leads and they have a record of 47, 44, and 2.
That's a lucky guess.
Plus 3.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So American League plus 3. Harry wins the just a quickie. There you go. All right.
There we go.
All right. There we go. Cool. All right. Anything else on baseball from either of you, gents?
Oh no. God. This might be another year where I don't watch it past September.
That's true. Yeah. All right. Cool. Cool. We got a quick mention of some football action. We got training camp coming up.
For who?
For 32 NFL teams.
Did you see that the Giants are the subject of what is that HBO series?
It's the Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
excellent.
Giants are the subject of Hard Knocks, but they're not doing it. They're not doing it from like training camp perspective and all of this and what the way they've done
draft, right?
It's the draft. It's the off-season things, and Joe Shane's on it a lot. And some of the
so now I get to see a documentary of why the Giants are sticking with Daniel Jones.
And
fantastic. It's torture all year long.
There you go. Whatchamacallit? Where am I? Hold on.
They're putting the right pieces around him this year.
They are. They could put Walter Payton, Lawrence Taylor, Jerry Rice, and John Hanna around him, and they wouldn't win.
The problem was Saquon Barkley.
Right.
It was.
Now they got rid of him, and Daniel Jones could be Daniel Jones, and they're going to be great.
Yeah,
let me tell you this. On I guess it was the most recent episode of Hard Knocks, or maybe it was just an interview. I'm not really sure because I haven't watched Hard Knocks yet. But apparently Joe Shane was quoted as saying, "I wanted to give him a lot of money a year ago, and he didn't want that."
Saquon?
Joe Shane on Saquon Barkley to the PR staff prior to the meeting with the media at the Combine. That's what it was.
Well, he wanted to give him a lot of money. He just didn't want to give him as much money as the Eagles offered him.
Apparently.
Who cares?
Apparently. So there you go. Which I guess if you read between the lines, he's basically saying that he didn't want to be here anymore.
Let me tell you something. Would you rather have a great running back at no offensive line or a decent running back, which they have now, and a revamped offensive line?
That one.
Yeah. And I think that's what we're going to have this year.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
So
if you pull in Malik Neighbors, forget about it.
And I hope they don't have to pass the ball because, God damn it, we got a retarded robot back there.
He can throw the ball. He knows how to throw the ball.
He's horrible.
He has an arm. He can actually.
Of course he does. He has 2 arms and 2 legs. Remember when he tripped over them?
Yeah, once. That happened once. And he was running, and it was his what, rookie or second year, sophomore year or whatever? And
I can't remember.
I think it was
much better at running now.
They're all painful.
Yeah.
They're all painful.
Look, is he Eli Manning? No. Is he Joe Montana? Not even close. Is he better than half of the quarterbacks out there? Maybe not better than half of them, but as good as half of them and better than a third of them.
Nope.
On paper. Wait, he's got to put it on the field, right?
How many teams are there? 32?
Yes.
He is in the bottom 5 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Here's what's gonna happen, and we have no choice, right? Because this isn't changing. So here's what's gonna happen. This revamped offensive line, the players that they brought in, what they're doing with the offensive line, it's knock on wood. It's going to have another coach and all of that. It's going to be for the offense and everything else. It's going to be a better offensive line. All right, they're going to be able to protect more than they have in the last how many years. All right,
let's hope so.
Let's hope so. If that happens, and they do protect better. I know Pete's just ready to shoot himself here. If that happens and they do protect him better, Daniel Jones has no excuses, right? So if will the real Daniel Jones please stand up? If he stands up and actually plays great like he did 2 years ago, or even better, well, then we know what we got, right? But if he plays like shit with a better offensive line, goodbye, see ya.
All right, Pete.
Drew Lock.
How are the Jets going to do?
I just want to, you know what? It's fucking July 10th. I don't give a shit.
Are you looking forward to Aaron?
We've already spent more time on football than we should.
But
I did want to know about your opinion on the Jets and where they're going and why Aaron Rodgers wasn't at a mandatory practice and was in Egypt.
Because Aaron Rodgers is a jerk. That's why he wasn't there. And the Jets are the Jets, and the sooner he gets hurt, the better. At least then all that shit will be over.
And Tyrod Taylor come in and take him to the playoffs.
Well, no, but listen.
Maybe.
Whatever.
I'm not saying to take him to the Super Bowl. I said
something is going to happen because it always does.
Right.
And I'll say this about Daniel Jones: he's no Ryan Tannehill.
He's no. One thing I was talking about with somebody earlier. Do the Vikings play the Broncos at all this year?
I don't know.
Because if they do, how interesting of a game would it be for Sam Darnold to go up against Zach Wilson?
Ooh. Battle of the Never-Wers.
Exactly.
Let's put that on Monday night.
That's a Monday. That's a Sunday night game of the week. That's going to be lovely.
Well, according
Battle
to
of the Grounded Jets.
According to PFF, the Giants are rated projected starting offensive line is number 29 best in the NFL, with the Jets number 24. So,
because I listen to Pro Football Focus all the time.
Yeah. Well, they make some good points.
You know what? Maybe,
I don't know how with the money they spent and the people they brought in, how the hell can they say the Giants have the third worst offensive line? They had a better offensive line last year with less people,
and they're up one from last year.
You know, this year when we do our picks,
we can just it proves that the three of us can have our own show on the NFL Network, because
it's true.
You just make shit up as you go along. Who cares? People are going to listen to it, and
I mean, we've known that for a long time.
And what are you going to do? And
then if you spew that shit for 2 or 3 years, then you could become the Lakers head coach.
I think it's like they rolled the dice, right? Yeah. Giants offensive line came up with a 2 and a 9. Oh, 29.
29. There you go.
Yeah. I mean,
I love those 9-sided dice stuff. They are really cool.
They're good.
Oh, you got the. No, I said you rolled 2 dice. One comes up 2. Oh yeah. Well, one is 1 through 6, and the other is 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9. Right there. You go.
All right. Listen, I do want to talk about one. We don't have to preview any other teams, right?
No, we're good.
All right. I do want to talk about one thing.
What's that?
Because I was talking about baseball not doing things good.
Right.
NFL, oops. DirecTV. I don't know if you heard about the lawsuit.
No, what's going on?
Yeah. So, District Court in Los Angeles orders the NFL to pay close to $5 billion in damages in an antitrust suit regarding the Sunday ticket. $4.7 billion to residential class subscribers and $96 million in damages to commercial class, i.e., bar owners. And because this is a federal antitrust case, damages can actually be tripled if it is so decided. So the NFL could end up being liable for $14.4 billion, 2.4 million residential subscribers, 48,000 businesses in the United States who paid for
DirecTV, and now it's not
DirecTV.
anymore.
Yep. And basically, at the heart of the case was, unlike, I guess, the NHL and the NBA and Major League Baseball, or at least some of those, you can't get just the teams that you want. You don't have that option with Sunday Ticket. You have to buy the whole
package
thing, and then there are extra charges on top of that.
Mhm.
And so they were saying that the league couldn't do that. They also said because it was only offered on a satellite provider, that was prohibitive to people who couldn't get satellite service. You know, if you're like here in New York, a lot of people used to get the dish, but you have to line it up. And if there's any trees or whatever, you don't have a good angle, then you can't get the signal. So basically they said you were restricted. The NFL was restrictive and they have to pay out a lot of money. Could come out to somewhere between 450 and 500 million, roughly, for each of the 32 NFL teams. And apparently, the reason I say this is bad by the NFL, obviously, because they lost the case, but there were a couple of points where the NFL could have settled for a fuck ton less than close to $5 billion. But they didn't. And I don't know why they didn't. Honestly, if you're going to just knock $50, $60, $70, $80 off it's like $350 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So knock it down to like, $275 or $280. And people go, oh, okay. I'll take that. Bar owners would take it. But the NFL was unwilling to settle. And so, of course, they're going to appeal, and it'll go to the Ninth Circuit, which I think is notoriously liberal and will probably side with the plaintiffs in this case, the general public and the bar owners, as they should. So, yeah, they could end up paying a boatload of money to people, all because they were greedy.
And I wonder how they'll recoup that money. Anyway,
yeah, a lot of ways: ticket sales, jerseys, concessions, TV contracts, other what they're doing now.
You're going to see the prices of all the other packages go up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they'll offset it by that. They'll have to offer it to cable and other.
But what's going to happen is everybody that got DirecTV is now getting YouTube, right, to watch it, and they're going to have to pay more. So they're going to get their money back on DirecTV and just put it into paying more on YouTube. So it's a wash.
Could be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I would assume the NFL thinks they have some sort of.
You could still get the NFL package on cable, right?
No.
You can't. You have to get it.
It was either DirecTV, and now it's YouTube. If you want to watch all the bars now, if you want to watch, and the bars can't. See, that's the thing, because it's not antitrust. It's something else.
They can't do YouTube.
Streaming is not allowed. Actually, no, I take that back, because we just got it at the brewery, right? You cannot stream publicly, because streaming is for private in-home use only. So YouTube, YouTube, Hulu, Netflix, all of those services you cannot use in a public for public display, in a bar, in a restaurant, wherever. That's just in-home, and that's it. But
I don't think you could get the NFL on streaming, though.
No,
now that they're on YouTube, you can. But when it was on DirecTV,
no, you couldn't.
Not legally.
Not legally.
So how are bars going to show it on YouTube?
I'm going to tell you how. You want me to tell you how?
Mm-hmm.
Ready for this one? It's going to blow your mind.
I'm not.
It's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind.
Wait a little longer.
No, here we go. Ready?
Throw a meme in.
It's available. YouTube NFL is available on DirecTV.
So you can keep paying DirecTV to get the YouTube feed.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
All right.
There you go.
So anyway,
the NFL really seemed to think this one out.
Oh yeah, they thought about it
this was not what they like. Why they did not settle this? They could have settled this for far less. And again, if they decide to, and I assume it's a judge's decision, or maybe the jury's decision.
I don't think it's the jury. I think it's the judge's decision.
About the amount that's awarded. Could, like I said, could be tripled because it's a federal case.
Right.
And they could. I mean, it's going to take you a while to recoup $15 billion, even if you're the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
If it's that much, but
yeah, because
even 4.8 billion is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
the only
NFL, we'll see.
And
again, it's going to be appealed, and then they'll probably, if they lose in the Ninth Circuit, they'll probably want to go to the Supreme Court. But I don't know. Maybe if they keep losing, maybe Goodell will get the axe.
I don't know. We'll see.
Which might be
the NFL. The NFL is still the most profitable sports.
It
league.
is. There's they print money. They print money. So anyway, all right. Anything else in the NFL, boys?
No, that's it for me.
All right. Yeah. We got no basketball and hockey because that's not happening until October.
Well,
so
one quick thing on basketball.
We can talk basketball for a second. Go for it.
Kawhi Leonard out. Team USA. They replaced him with Derek White.
Derek White
over Jalen Brunson or Jalen Brown.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. There you have it.
That's I think we call that white privilege.
Quite literally.
White is right in this particular
Derek White.
case.
I thought they were going to replace him with Randy White.
Yeah, they were going to replace him with Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid. Oh, I would have paid money to see that.
But he's playing for Team Canada.
If we do want to do a little NBA, I do have an NBA. Are they for real?
Let's do an NBA.
Let's do an NBA. Are they for real?
Are they for real? There we go. Perfect.
It'll be a quick one.
What is real?
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Pretty sure none of that's real.
You're not real.
For real, for real, for real. Yeah.
Are you for real? For real? For real? For real?
Are they for real?
What is real?
All right, a little NBA because it is the off season and moves are being made, and I think there was a draft or something like that. Whatever.
A couple weeks ago,
There was. It was only French players.
Yeah. When was the first American player drafted?
Do they still have American players?
1974.
Yes, I would say 57.
So some moves involving some names that we might know have been made. So who is, as we know, being for real means lots of things. So who made the best move amongst this list that I will give you?
Yes.
As far as making their team significantly better and putting them in a better position
You got
to maybe take a shot at getting an NBA title. First up, playoff P, Paul George going to Philly.
Okay.
Number 2, Klay Thompson, seeing the demise of the Golden State Warriors one way or the other, going to the Mavericks, where he may get a lot of stand-and shoots.
Supposed to
Oklahoma City getting Alex Caruso, everyone's favorite bald player, and a defensive stalwart, and the big man from NYC, Hartenstein, or Mikal Bridges going to the New York Knickerbockers. Which one of those moves is the most for real?
Well, I want to say the Knicks, but I'm not gonna because it's not. Oklahoma, I think.
Philly didn't lose anything, so they gained Paul George. Okay. Oklahoma City got 2 really good role players to go along with a great team that was the number 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And the Knicks got a very good player.
But they lost Hartenstein.
So in order,
and they got to figure out how to fit that player in.
They do.
Yeah.
I think that if they kept Hartenstein, I'd have the Knicks at number 1.
If they kept Hartenstein, I'd be saying I would have not come off the Knicks. It would have been.
But and maybe I'm putting a little. I actually really like Hartenstein, and
I knew this was going to happen, and I think it's a big loss.
Well, because they gave $75 trillion to OG Anunoby.
Yeah. So in order, I'm going to go the Sixers right now on paper, number one, and I'm going to give a tie to Oklahoma City and the Knicks, because I think while Oklahoma City got better, the Knicks got equally better. So the Knicks signed Mikal Bridges is a better player than Caruso or Hartenstein individually.
Right. Yeah, Caruso's
Oklahoma City has a better team than the Knicks.
But the Knicks, and the reason I came off of the Knicks is because that big man. I mean, look, if whatchamacallit, Mitchell Robinson stays healthy the entire season, we have nothing to worry about, right?
No, we do.
But he's not gonna.
He's not, and he's not.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's not Hartenstein.
You've got to deal with. They've got to deal with Giannis, and you've got to deal with what's his name in Philly.
They don't have a they don't have a big man.
You need big men. Yeah,
you need big men. So Robinson's not gonna. He's not gonna play 82 games. You know what I mean? So they have to. They need to replace him. Need to replace Hartenstein, and
not a lot of options out there for a guy who can do what he did.
Right. Exactly. So that's why. I mean, I'm at OKC number one. Philly right behind OKC, and then the Knicks, and then Dallas. That's
all right. I'm going to obviously be a contrarian here.
Go for it.
I'm going to say, listen, Paul George has never fucking won anything, and he falls apart routinely when the playoffs come around.
Neither has Mikal Bridges.
He's the new Paul George. I mean, Paul George is the new James Harden in Philly.
I'm not.
Oh, he'll help them, but when it comes to clutch time, and he gets hurt too.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not that it's a terrible move, but I don't think it's going to pan out and bring them what they want, which is a title or at least a shot at it. I love obviously Mikal Bridges being a Nets fan. I think it's an excellent move for the Knicks, but you're right. They lost size, and that hurts them.
Mm-hmm.
OKC getting Caruso, excellent defensive player, fan favorite, a role player though. Hartenstein is going to definitely help them. I would probably put that.
Hartenstein's not going to start though over Chet, so
No,
but he's going to fill those minutes when he's not on the
Well, you know what? You imagine playing those two together.
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, you could. So I would say I'm going to put that too. I'm going to put Klay to the Mavs number one.
Oof.
Because
I get them last.
They went to the finals, and I know you're down on Klay, but he's a great shooter. I think he's going to get a lot of spot up shots. Doncic is going to get him the ball, and Doncic and Kyrie found a way to play. They didn't perform particularly well in the finals, but they got there.
Klay Thompson to the Mavericks is a bigger negative than Damian Lillard to the Bucks, because the one thing Klay Thompson cannot do is play defense, and the Dallas Mavericks
being brought there to play defense.
No, but the Dallas Mavericks are not known. The Dallas Mavericks did they really need more shooting? Maybe. Yeah. I don't think he hurts them. I don't think he's the game changer that everybody thinks he is. He's not a great shooter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to stand in the corner and spot up.
That's me in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
that's me spotting up.
He's going to be another guy in the Mavs that they have to worry about, which is something.
We'll see. We'll see. The West is West is tough.
You talk about Philly though. You mentioned Philly, obviously with Paul George. Paul George doesn't scare me as a Knicks fan coming to the Sixers. There's one particular person right now that's scaring me on the Sixers, and it's not Joel Embiid.
Maxey,
yeah.
Look,
yeah, they'll
when Embiid
regular season.
Look, if Embiid was healthy, the Sixers with Embiid and without Paul George last year beat the Knicks.
Right.
It's just Embiid. I don't like Joel Embiid. I don't like him as a person. I think there's something I just dislike about him. Having said that, you could argue he's a top 3 player in the NBA when he's on the court, when he's healthy. And can he take a team to a championship? We don't know. There's been a lot of big men who never could, right? A lot of guys who have battled injuries and put teams on their back. But with Maxey and George, George just might make Maxey that much better because you can't double team Maxey all the time now. Paul George will win you 3 or 4 games, during the regular season on game
just by being on the court with Maxey.
And he's a clutch. He hasn't won anything in the playoffs. I get that, but he doesn't hurt, and he doesn't have to be the superstar on the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. One other thing for the NBA, because I want to ask you, Harry. Nuggets losing Caldwell Pope, and don't seem to be doing a lot. Are they missing out on Joker's prime years? What are they going to do here?
Well,
are they getting better?
If you look at my little header today, whose front office is worse, the Yankees or the Nuggets?
No, that's what that says.
Yes. Whose front office is worse, Yankees or Nuggets?
And you're right onto something. And this is a note to the Nuggets. Wake the fuck up. You got to do something, guys. You got to do something because you've lost 2 of your top 4 outside shooters. Christian Braun is a good player. He's not a starter. He's a bench guy. So you lost KCP. You traded Reggie Jackson in a weird. You re-signed him and then traded him and gave away picks to get him off. What do you got up your sleeve? I don't see anything up your sleeve. You drafted a power forward. That's the one position where we don't really need any help right now. Okay, we need guards. We need shooters, and the time is now to package Michael Porter Jr. for something significant. And look, I thought the Nuggets were going to go after Mikal Bridges. I really did. But they just don't seem to be in the conversation right now for a lot of players. And if you bring in fucking Russell Westbrook because you can get him for cheap, then game over.
You're waving a white flag.
Yeah.
Whether you intend to or not, you're kind of waving a white flag.
You may as well trade Jokic now and just call it a day. But you have Jokic and you have Murray. Aaron Gordon disappeared in the last playoff series. So did Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
KCP's a good player, but he's not great. He's a good defender. That was a big loss. And I don't blame them for not paying him what he got paid. He got paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. Reggie Jackson is a role player. It was a weird thing. So are you freeing something up to actually go out and make a move? Because if you are, then you need to do it. And it needs to be significant. It can't be nibbling around the edges. You can't follow in Brian Cashman's footsteps. Go out and get a really good player. Go out and do it.
Let me ask you this. Between Gordon and Porter, who would you rather keep?
Gordon.
Okay.
Without a doubt. Yeah. But there's certain teams where Gordon doesn't match up well. And if he's kind of like a better Kenyon Martin. A lot of his game is based on athleticism around the rim. And he's got one of the best guys to feed him the ball. He's not going to spot up and hit threes. He's not going to stretch the floor, but he's going to guard almost anybody on the floor who's your best player. And he's going to rebound and he's going to score at the rim and he's going to run the floor well. So he's a great player and a great fit for what the Nuggets do. Look, Murray had a rough year, constantly injured. The Nuggets ran into some teams that sort of figured them out. And oh, by the way, Oklahoma City just got better. San Antonio's up and coming. The Rockets are going to be better. Minnesota's a tough matchup already for you. And Dallas, according to RadioPete, just signed, the second coming of Seth Curry and his slightly less accurate brother. So they're in a tough situation. They need to make a big splash. They need to go out and get somebody. Because you got 3 or 4 more years with Jokic in his prime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These are his prime years. Next couple of years, you need to win before he's going to be, and because he's going to take a beating over the next couple of years too, and that's going to wear him down. So
and they need depth. They haven't been depth. Losing Bruce Brown, losing Jeff Green. These were, it's tough to put together a championship team, but somehow Some other teams have been able to figure out how to do it with depth, i.e., the Boston Celtics. So they need to go out and they need to do something. They need to move. They need to move some players.
Yeah, Celtics just paid Tatum a boatload of money too. We'll see how much they're.
Yeah, it's
over the next couple of years how deep they are.
Yeah,
but they're still the defending champions.
Yeah,
there you go. All right, cool. Do we have a?
Actually, I got two other quick things.
Oh, go for it.
I want to get your opinion on something. So, of course, the 4th of July Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Mm-hmm.
No Joey Chestnut because he made a deal with some vegan hot dog company.
Impossible.
So they kicked him out of it. I don't even know who won or whatever. It doesn't matter. My question to you is competitive eating a sport? Because people have called it a sport. They say these guys train for it. There are events, blah, blah, blah. Other people say, no, it's ridiculous. It's not a sport. I want to get your thoughts.
Well, what did we say? We talked about something similar, but not that on another show. And we gave a classification to what would be a sport.
Well, Pete gave a classification as to what was a sport.
Well, what was it?
Was it golf?
No, we were talking about.
Something that was just
ice skating or ice dancing or
something that was judged. If it's not judged,
yeah.
If you can win,
if you don't win except by being judged, if you can't win except by being judged,
it's not a sport.
Then it is not a sport.
Then, if that's the case, then competitive eating is a sport
because it's how many. Although each eater does have a judge, but they're there to count. Not to decide.
Like a referee. It's like a referee or an umpire.
Yeah, they're just there. They're just there to make sure that there's an accurate count.
Sport.
And they do train, and there is a circuit and all that stuff. So
it's a sport.
It's a sport. There you go.
I mean, it's not anything that you can just kind of walk in off the street and.
I don't know.
You know, you're not in the same league as the professionals.
So. No.
All right, so that's
there you go.
So the other thing I want to
hold that thought before you do the other one.
Oh,
I don't know if you saw. They had a lemonade drinking contest.
They have all sorts of.
They had a lemonade drinking contest, and Claire wasn't the guy that won, but the guy that was standing next to the guy that won. He after the event was over, he basically was projectile vomiting lemonade.
I saw that
everywhere. He vomited more lemonade than he drank.
Nice.
So,
nice. Well,
definitely a sport.
Definitely a sport.
Peak athletic.
The story from Stand By Me, right? About the kid in the pie eating contest. The Stephen King story, Stand By Me. They made it into the movie.
Right.
So the fat kid that everybody makes fun of, he drinks whatever and then enters the pie eating contest and throws up, and then everybody starts throwing up.
Right.
So good stuff.
Those
judges, that is not a glamorous thing at all to be a judge at an eating contest. They regularly get stuff on them. Let's just put it that way. But I heard today that Joey Chestnut won a bagel eating contest, 15 or 17 bagels with cream cheese in 8 minutes.
Oh my God.
Which seems impossible.
I can't eat one bagel and cream cheese in 8 minutes.
Seems impossible. All right, but it's a sport. All right, last thing. No reason to talk about the Copa America because the United States of America is out of it. Didn't get out of the group stage. Couldn't beat anybody, even though we were ranked higher than all the other teams. Look, we're just not good at soccer. But here's the question I wanted to ask you. Do you think it has something to do with the fact that, look, we have in all sports, certainly in all the professional sports, and on the way there through Little League and school and college and all that, there are those players who are very, very, very good. And then there are those players who are not only very good, but athletically, they are just gifted above and beyond. You know what I'm talking about? Guys like LT. Right, guys that just have something. Their genetics are such that they have better balance. They just see things better. Whatever it is. And I wonder if, because soccer is not monetarily as much a destination as, say, baseball or football is, or basketball for that matter, It's
in the U.S.
In the U.S. I'm talking about. Yeah, it might be easier to, in a sense, become a professional soccer player because there maybe isn't as much competition, and we do have.
Well, there's the world competition now, so yeah.
Right, but my point is, I wonder if more of those players that have that little extra athleticism, if they go other places, because you can make a lot more money. If you want to be a pro athlete, that's your dream. You can make a lot more money playing football or baseball or basketball. And so maybe they gravitate away from soccer,
right,
and don't continue that chase at an earlier age.
I can see that.
Maybe that keeps us from
competing,
having, because there's we have American players now that play in European leagues, and
a few.
We took that as a few, but we took that as a sign that yes, we were up and coming in the world.
Right.
But maybe it's not such a sign that we're up and coming,
because
none of the American players are stars on any of those European teams.
What's our professional league called? MLS?
Major League Soccer, yes.
I wonder what the percentage of Americans are in Major League Soccer.
I think it's fairly high. But I mean, we're starting to get we know the big names, the guys like Messi and Zlatan and.
Well, I was going to say you're gonna get. I see where you're going, and I kind of agree with it. I mean, you're going to get occasionally you're going to get a Messi or a David Beckham or a one of those type of players, but
there's no American version of those guys.
No. Occasionally you're going to get like maybe not that level, but you're going to get somebody that's a standout soccer player from America.
On the men's side.
On the men's side.
On the women's side, we've got great players.
Of course. Yeah.
But
I think you're right. I think somebody that has that extra and it's just athletic. I can tell you right now. I've seen I've coached kids baseball and football and basketball. You see those kids and they're excelling in football and baseball and basketball, and they could just do it all. They
can do anything.
They can do anything.
Better,
so
just
why would they
better than the majority of the other kids?
Right. Exactly.
And I think they don't stay with soccer and seek it as a profession.
Mm-hmm.
We make good players here in the U.S., but not great players. And I think that translates to us being fair to middling on the world stage.
Why do the women do better?
Because there's less of women.
Because maybe
is there?
Is there a national football league for women or a national baseball league for women? I mean, they can play softball. They can play. Yeah. They have basketball.
They're kind of are, but not really.
Yeah,
not really.
No, there are. I mean,
but they're not.
But they're not making the money. They're not making the money.
No, what I'm saying is, option-wise, getting to college and playing. You could play softball. You could play basketball.
No. I'm not. I don't think Pete's talking about it. I'm correct me if I'm wrong, Pete. I don't think you're talking about going through all the way to college or anything. You're talking about going pro.
Yeah, I'm saying the players that go pro are the ones that work really, really hard and become good enough. And then there are those who, not saying they don't have to work hard also, but they have that little extra something. Right. And I don't think too many of those people in the U.S. go into soccer. I think they go into other sports because we don't produce. There's no American Messi.
Never has been.
You know what I mean? There's just no.
There's a couple of American Messis.
No great American players.
And who's the best American player of all time? John Harkes. I mean, I don't know. Who gives a shit?
No idea.
It's not our sport.
No, but I'm saying we don't.
I'd rather watch hot dog eating than go see a professional soccer game in the United States.
Now that's the other thing. Of course, it is the sport in many of these other countries.
Of course,
even ones that have baseball and basketball, we know that.
You want to watch men run around in their underwear and forget how to shoot,
right?
Then,
but when everybody in the country plays soccer and that is the sport, then yes, you're going to produce great players. But like we talk about our women's team and how the rest of the world is kind of catching up now, and we look at the last, But with our men's team, we just never seem to catch up
because we're not that good, and we shouldn't expect.
We're not. We're just not getting better.
No,
we're just not getting better.
We're not that good.
We're not. And
you know what? We're getting worse in all of the other sports that we used to excel at. because there's more
Right.
competition.
Well, yeah, we were talking about the NBA draft.
Yeah. As good as this American Olympic team is shaping up to be, do you have confidence that there's no chance that they're going to lose? No, I don't.
Well, what do you consider a loss if we don't get the most medals overall?
No, I'm talking the U.S. basketball team.
Well, yeah, I think that era of invincibility has blown the coop.
How about the U.S. baseball team? Right?
I don't know.
I mean,
who won what was the international?
So look at Major League Baseball
last year.
How many players from the U.S. in Major League Baseball now?
True. Yeah.
I think it's still a majority, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like U.S. born and raised.
I would imagine South and Central American countries are probably dominating now. Yeah.
In baseball, it's been for a while.
Yeah.
So you think we have more players who come from outside the country and make it to the major leagues than American-born players in baseball?
I don't know. It's getting close.
Definitely much more than in the past.
I mean, I know.
I mean, look at it this
white
way.
guys are something, more of a minority.
There's a draft for high school students, college students in America, right? In the States to minor leagues for baseball. But then scouts go down to the Dominican Republic.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Bring players back.
Right. A high percentage of the U.S. players. So here's percentage by country of birth as of 2022. So it is pretty high. It's 70% is for the United States, which is higher than I thought it would be. But the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Cuba, Puerto Rico, and Mexico make up another 4, 5, 6, 13, almost 30%. So everybody else.
What's the breakdown on the All-Star team? I wonder.
Yeah.
That might be a more accurate assessment of not just where they're from, but the skill level of the players.
Is that the percentage of players in the bigs or just Major League Baseball complete, including the minors and everything?
No, just the big Major League. 1,000 players. That's
Right. Fair enough.
Well, we're not good at soccer.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. Do we have an over/under tonight?
Yeah, I had so many. I don't know what happened to them. Let's do an over/under.
We were saving something for this week.
Yeah, I think I threw out the. All right, you know what?
Threw it out.
By the way, the Yankees won, and Clay Holmes saved a game.
He did. I saw that.
Wow.
And 2-1 was the final.
Yeah, Marcus Stroman, baby.
And that's good. A former Mets pitcher won the game for the Yankees. A former Yankees pitcher won the game for the Mets.
Severino win today.
Severino got the win, and the Mets beat the Nationals 6-2.
Severino's doing all right. What is he? 6-3, 5-4, something like that.
Severino is. Hold on, I got it here. He is Severino 6-3.
Yeah, what's his ERA around 4?
3.78.
It's not bad.
It's a bounce back year for Louis. I thought that was a pretty big loss for the Yankees.
Mm-hmm. And there you have it. All right.
Over under.
What's your over under?
I got here a pack of glasses cleaning cloths.
Cleaning cloth.
15 pack.
Come 15 in a box, and each one is packaged in plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you the box.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's all you get.
All right.
This is not a full box. So how many are left out of the 15?
What's the over-under?
Over-under is 10.5.
I'm going under.
I'm going to go under as well.
Gonna go under.
Under.
All right.
My guess is that there's 10.
I am going to remove them.
Just tell us.
I don't know.
Okay.
All
You must
1,
have known.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm changing mine over.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Damn.
I changed mine over. You heard me.
There were a couple that were stuck underneath the top there.
There were.
Yeah, they were. These things are great. They're cheap,
Yeah,
but they're really they're hard to get open. Like you can't figure out how to get them open. There's no real.
But once you get them open, they work like a dream.
They work great. I got those, and next week we'll do the lens wipes. There's 100 in a box.
There we go. Oh yeah, that's
there you go. You can freeze frame that and count them up. Of course, I use 1 or 2 every day. So
there you go. It's going to be less next week. So there you go. All right.
There we go. That's the over under.
Well, we are over under out.
We are over and under and out. Yes, we are. All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we will wrap up the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwithitpodcast.com. That's getonwithitpodcast.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And of course, all of our shows are available on YouTube as well on the Locker Room channel. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, which is now X. I still call it Twitter. And Twitch every other Wednesday evening around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our audio host, Spreaker, as well as iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, Audible, Google Podcast, Amazon Music Podcast, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Castbox, Deezer, Podchaser, Rephonic. Pretty much anywhere you can find an audio podcast, you will find the Get On With It Sports Podcast. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will talk to you in a couple of weeks, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
It's officially the summer doldrums.
It is dog days.